Hi, I'm Senator Adam Ollier, and this is the We Can Do Better podcast. And I'm excited. I have a very special guest, Leandra from the Detroit Farm and Cider spot. And so we're really excited. Like, you're doing like a really unique and interesting thing. I know I have passed your space and been like, what is that? Is that a farm? What's going on over there? And I had some friends who just went to dinner there this past Saturday. So do you want to introduce yourself and tell folks what you're doing?
My name is Leandra King. I am the owner of Detroit Farm and Cider. We are in the process of building the first Black-owned cider mill in the country and the first cider mill in Detroit. So that's a little bit of what we're doing. The meats and potatoes of what we're really doing is trying to create a youth program where we can engage youth in the community and allow them or expose them to activities that they otherwise wouldn't be able to participate in at a low cost.
And so how long have you been doing this?
I have been farming for 5 years.
Okay.
Before, almost in conjunction with farming, I was running my nonprofit in District 2. Not far from where the farm is. And we were dealing with issues like blight control, and we were giving away seeds and cultivating the land and just helping out where we could. But I've always had a little bit of a green thumb.
That's cool. So how'd you get started?
It started with my kitchen garden that expanded into a community garden. You're in my mobile office right now. So,
we're all in different kind of office spaces.
Right. So it organically expanded into a community garden just because I would always have more than enough. And the neighbors would always come and, they would get produce from us after harvest, and then we'd sit around the bonfire and build rapport.
That's super dope. I wish I could say I had anything like a green thumb. I don't. I do really good at digging holes and like clearing the space, but we have not been so great. Although we have a little bit of a garden, like most people during the pandemic. All the women in my family started gardening, and my daughter's godmother had gardened but didn't really have space. And she was like, "If you build a space," I was like, "Oh, I can build a planter." So built a little space and raised. And she planted, and then this year my wife subscribed to Keep Growing Detroit, and you'll appreciate this. Our plants were sitting out because we hadn't put them in the ground yet, and then they magically were planted. Like, we have no idea who.
Volunteer plants.
Yeah, like we have no idea who planted them in the backyard. So I called my mom and I was like, "Hey, Mom, thanks for planting the plants." And she was like, "I did not plant your plants." So I called, Lily's godmother, and I was like, "Hey, Quinn, that was so nice of you. Thanks for." She was like, "Adam, I did not plant those plants." I called my sisters. I'm like, "Hey, did you?" I was like, "No." And so we never found out who planted said
the farm fairy.
Clearly, 100%, and like planted in neat rows with all the labels and everything. We're like,
awesome.
So Lily and I would still water them, and we had great tomatoes and ground cherries. She really liked the ground cherries this year.
I love ground cherries. They're really good.
I didn't even know they were a thing, but
neither did I until last year, so don't feel bad about that.
Yeah. And she'd pull her dino kale out of the ground and just be eating. And I was like, "We need to rinse it off." She's like, "No, Daddy, I'm just gonna eat this kale." So
as long as you don't spray with anything, you're good.
No, we used the other friend was telling me all the things. So I used a little neem oil this year
Yeah.
after, and some like dehydrated something like I don't know what it is, but she was telling me to do it, and I like got that because we were starting to get like ants or aphids. It was to keep aphids off.
Oh, okay. Not diatomaceous earth.
Maybe
Was it that?
that
Okay.
sounds right. Is that bad? You're like, no,
Yeah.
I don't use that.
No, no, you're good. I didn't know what you were talking.
Yeah,
Diatomaceous earth is good.
I think that's what it
We
was.
use sulfur, organic sulfur. It's a
Uh-huh.
powder.
Yeah, so
So
I would like shake it. So
yeah, you gotta
that
shake
is
it.
Yeah, that is the extent of my gardening. But you're doing something probably a lot more robust than that. So, a lot of folks last year started their community, their home garden, and you started home garden and went to community garden and now have a whole real life farm in the city. Do you want to tell folks where it is and what that's been like?
So we're on Lawrence Street at 1600 Lawrence, between Woodrow Wilson and Rosa Parks. We're not far from the congregation, whom I
Hmm.
love, and the Job Corps. We're going to be partnering with CAS Community Social Services. This year, we have been giving all of our produce away for free. We
Okay.
haven't been selling anything. My restaurant friends and all the people that typically buy from me are a little upset about that. That's okay. Our goal is to connect with the community, to connect with local nonprofits,
Hmm.
as well as just to give back. And and the energy of giving back, we hope, or we're faithful that God is going to bless this endeavor of
Hmm.
ours. So we will officially be opening as a cider mill next year. Now we're going to open up on the 31st of October for some fall activities,
Hmm.
but those will be restricted. You'll have to purchase your tickets online at DetroitFarmandCider.com. The most exciting thing that we're doing right now are our farm to table dinners every
Okay.
Saturday.
Hmm.
With your farm to table dinner ticket, which is $100, you get it. Come in at 4 o'clock. You come in. There's a live band, an open bar with artisanal drinks, and signature cocktails that are organic. And then you get a 3-course, 5-star organically sourced meal from a different local restaurant, every week. And I'm leaving some stuff out, so give me a second.
That's okay. I know I had
We
some
have
friends who went and they said it was amazing, like
Yeah,
phenomenal.
horse and carriage ride through the orchard. Including it with your ticket is you pick, so you could pick some apples in the orchard, walk through there with your friends and family. And at the end of the night, we have a bonfire, a big bonfire, where
Hmm.
you can sit around the fire. You could roast s'mores. We have s'more bags that we're giving out with a Godiva chocolate and spiked hot cocoa.
Okay, so I mean, this seems like, I mean, to be honest, it's not what people imagine when they see or think about Black people farming, right? Like when you hear the type of things that you're talking about and doing, it's usually a younger white person who has moved from the suburbs that, is getting a lot of news and publicity for doing this in, a neighborhood, not like somebody that is from here that is like, hey, this is my community, this is what I want to do, or to bring these experience. So how has that experience been when people are like, hey, we want to go to this nice farm to table thing? Are people surprised that they see a you face instead of a them face? Yeah, with locks, and.
They're surprised. People typically don't say anything, but the song by the
Hmm.
Rude Boys is written all over your face.
Right, right.
um, but no, I mean, we've gotten a good response from the community, and our goal is to just raise money at this point. So
Hmm.
we're not sitting around twiddling our thumbs waiting for loans. We got denied for an SBA, for both the SBA loans we applied for. We applied for the agricultural loan through the USDA, and we got denied for that, primarily because what we're doing is brand new, and everything prior to what we're doing now
Hmm.
was done through my nonprofit. So
Right.
it's but it's looking good, and people are really loving the dinners. So that's our means of fundraising right now. And it enables us to sit back and just put our thinking caps on and do this the right way. Because last year when we had our Harvest Fest, the news came out and they were like, they're open, the cider mill is open. And I'm like, no, we're not. and and we had like between 600 and 800 people a day coming. And everybody's like so excited. And I'm like running around like, no, this is a liability. Put that down. No.
Right.
So, I want to do this the right way. I don't, I want it to be taken seriously. And we have the renderings for our cider barn. And we have quotes, and we're just trying to raise funds so this can be built. And we have a home. We'll finally have a home for our cider presses.
And so when people are like, they hear what you're talking about and they like the idea of what you're doing, how do folks get engaged, right? Like, are there volunteer opportunities? Are you just raising money? Like, is it, hey, just come buy dinner? Like, what do people do who are like, they see the work that you're doing and they're interested, they want to see you be successful?
I tell people I value your hands more than I value your wallet. So bring me your hands.
So I've got hands. What does hands look like? I mean, are we cutting things down? We building things up? Like, tell me what we can do with hands.
Okay, so at DetroitFarmandCider.com, you could go on our website and you could click the pretty little button that says volunteer now, and you'll fill out an inquiry form. Once you do that, you'll be able to, somebody will get in contact with you and we'll have you come out here. You'll either be picking apples or helping out with our weekly dinners, which also means you get to eat too. So that's always cool. And our motto is, if you work here, you're a family. So even with the farm to table dinners, it's all family style. And we sit down with you, and the goal is to build bridges and to create relationships and that are strong and beneficial to the community.
Okay, so that's super dope. So we're excited about the work that you're doing. What was on the meal last week? What's just to kind of whet people's appetites? What are they getting when you're talking 5 courses?
Okay, so I have the memory of a fish, but
ooh, that means I love it. You've been on that. I don't know if you watch Ted Lasso, but it's one of those things. He always says, "Who is the happiest animal in the world?" And the answer is always goldfish because they have a 10-second memory. It's like, cool. How's it going?
So I'm Dory over here. No, we had Q's Kitchen last week. She made some awesome chicken with some vegetables. I love Q. She's right off of Woodward. Because I love her primarily because she has this explosive personality. She was on Channel 2 News recently, and she's just a bundle of joy. But she also she embraces meat lovers, and she caters to vegans. Much of her food is plant-based, and she'll be cooking again this week. After Q, we expect Pink Flamingo, and they're off of Woodward as well. I don't know if you're familiar with them, with Miko.
I'm not.
Pink Flamingo. Her food, both her and Q make sure that they get their ingredients from local farmers, which I love, and that's typically the only restaurant business or type of restaurant that I support. So they source their ingredients from local farmers. And if a restaurant is interested in connecting with us, they can go online and fill out an inquiry form for that as well.
And what's your website?
DetroitFarmandCider.com.
And that's farm and spelled out. So that's
spelled
Detroit
out, yep.
Farm and Cider.com.
Yep.
Cool. And so what else do you grow on the farm? Are we just getting apples? Do we have anything else?
So this year we're just focusing on all our perennials. This year we grew our Concords, of course.
I don't know what a Concord is. You have to let it.
Concord grapes.
Oh, you can grow grapes in Detroit? Okay.
I do grow grapes in Detroit.
So when are you making wine? Because that's always the next question. You got grapes. When are the wines coming?
So I had a really awesome meeting with Steven, the owner of Batch Brewery, last
Mm-hmm.
night. And it's really nice to get together with local business owners, especially ones that make really cool products like
Uh-huh.
beer and alcohol.
Right.
So I don't know. We'll see what the future brings.
Okay, so
But
TBD on.
hard cider is in the future, definitely. And that is a collaboration we're doing with Batch Brewery.
Okay, well, let me know when that comes because I'm not a big drinker, but I do like a good hard cider.
Oh yeah. And his hard cider is already phenomenal. So I could just imagine what he's gonna do with our apples.
And what kind of apples do you grow?
Macintosh, Granny Smith, Pink Lady. We have a nice variety of apples.
Okay. Have you created any new apples? I remember the first time I had a Honeycrisp. I was in college in upstate New York, and I was driving to this random like farm stand, and I got these apples, and they were like, I was like, "Oh, it's the best apple in the whole world," because they, I guess,
I have not
you
had
don't think
time.
about it.
I haven't had time to create any hybrid apple varieties. I'm still trying to stop the sky from falling every day. So
I can respect that. I can respect that.
yeah,
It's just funny, we don't think about how, there are all these new kinds of apples that did not exist when we were kids, right? Like there were no
right.
Honeycrisp, there were no Pink Lady, there were no, some of these things. All these are new.
You just had the Macintosh and the sour apple, the green.
Hmm.
That's all we
And
knew.
Washington or Golden Delicious, what were those?
Golden
Red
Delicious and
Red Delicious,
Granny
the ones that
Smith.
were just never good. Yeah, never good.
Yeah.
Anywho, it's
The ones they
been,
gave you with school lunch.
yeah, just the worst. Just not good
Yeah.
at all. It tastes like cardboard. But anywho, it's super cool that you all have been, having the successes that you're doing, and that there are ways for community folks like us to engage and come check out the work that you're doing. So you said October 30th, different things are going to happen.
31st.
So 31st, okay.
Yep.
And what's
We're gonna
happening
have
October
goat.
31st?
We're gonna have goat yoga. We're gonna start back doing our horse rides. You'll be able to purchase tickets online for the goat yoga, register for those classes. We're still gonna be doing our dinners every Saturday. As we go into the wintertime, the dinners we'll be doing more of those throughout the week in our heated greenhouses. So but on the 31st, we're gonna have our sack races. We're gonna have cider slushies. We're gonna be selling hot cider. We're currently looking for a vendor to come and do donuts. So these are all the
Okay.
things that we're supplementing with while in the interim of us opening up. And so
Mhm.
we're also trying to support other small owned businesses too,
Okay.
small black
And
owned.
so October 31st, that's Halloween. Is there going to be trick or treating?
Yeah. So we're planning a surprise. I'm not supposed to tell anybody.
Oh,
It's
well, then
it's
then just tell people to follow. Are you on social media? Where do they
I
follow so
am
they can get these updates?
Instagram at Detroit Farm and Cider, and Facebook is the same, Detroit Farm and Cider. But we have something special planned for Halloween. That's it. That's all I
Okay.
can say.
Yeah, don't give them anything. Tell them they need to follow you at Detroit Farm and Cider on Instagram and on Facebook so they can get the tea. Because people
My
want to know. I
team,
mean,
my team, look, I can't hold a secret. So my team has banned me from Instagram and Facebook for a little while because they don't trust me to not tell everybody.
that's
I
funny.
almost
So
told you just now.
I
My
know.
admin assistant is looking at me like,
I respect that. My wife is always telling me I have to have less secrets with my daughter. I'm always like, hey, Lily, I got a surprise for her. She's like, whoa, 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 honey. Stop setting up her expectations for all at six. I was like, but I heard the thing that she likes most in the world is new books. I was like, but I got her a new
yeah,
book. She's like, pump your brakes, pump your brakes. I was like, Lily, we're gonna go to. I was like, Lily, I got a surprise. She's like, whoa, 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 whoa. Are you sure we're gonna be able to go to the park tonight? What if it rains? And so like the two of us are like on opposite ends of the
a
expectation
good
train.
balance.
Yeah, I'm like hyping everything up. I'm like, Lily, have a good day, and it's gonna be amazing things. And Chris was like, well, what kind of amazing things you got? I was like, I got these. We're gonna. She's like, whoa, 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 it's gonna rain today. I was like, oh, it's gonna rain today. I guess we're not going to the park.
Yeah,
She's like, you're gonna have Lily all upset. It's like, I mean, I didn't look at the weather, so, but
she grounds you. That's what she's there for.
she does. She does.
Yeah.
But so awesome. So, it's really exciting to see the work that you're doing and the successes that you're having. And so we look forward to continue to support and engage and to talk about some of the things you're doing. So in summation, if people want to know what you're doing, they should go to Detroit Farm and Cider on all the social media.
Yep.
They should check out the website so that they can buy tickets for dinner, so they can volunteer, because hands over wallets. So we're down for that. And October 31st, all kinds of special things come out. That's when Cider Mill really pops off for the season.
Please come and volunteer so I can get some sleep and I can get rid of these dark circles.
Oh no, girl, can't nobody see them circles. Nobody. You should see mine. I mean, I don't know, light skin problems.
Yeah.
But so it's, as you talk about, sleep and rest, like it's busy times. What are you doing for your mental health? What are you doing to stay active?
I kayak.
Where do you kayak?
The Detroit canals. I try to go every morning. Lately, I have not been able to get out there. So I have like a nice few people who like go out there in the morning, and I know they've missed me. But yeah, I'm starting back. I'm pushing myself to go back every morning and kayak the canals.
Okay. And how far do you kayak when you're kayaking?
Well, I don't know if I'm supposed to say this in front of people, but I snuck into Canada last week. And
Well, as
so
long as they
I
don't catch
kayak. No, they didn't catch me. And then I went through Patchy. I think it's called Patchy Island, and they have some canals there. They're untouched, all natural wildlife. But then typically what I do is I go like around Coriander and the Detroit River and just come back.
That's
I
cool.
do it for about an hour.
Yeah. You probably good as long as you don't touch the ground. I don't know though. But there was that guy who was drinking with his buddies, Canadian, and swam across, I think last year during the pandemic. And his friends thought he had drowned because it had taken him so long. And he came back, he got in all kinds of trouble with Border Patrol because I guess he came out on the US side and then came back, and like, I don't know.
I
Weird
don't be
stuff.
doing all that. I just go to Patchy
Yeah.
Patchy Island and come right back.
Cool.
In my kayak. I don't swim.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for taking some time to, share your story. We will certainly try and encourage folks to go out and come check it out. I know I'm excited about getting over there and seeing all the cool stuff you got going on.
Thank you so much for having me.
Of course. So this has been the We Can Do Better podcast with Senator Adam Hollier, and we had an incredible opportunity to talk to Detroit Farm and Cider as they get going and see and highlight all the work that they're going to be doing coming up.
All right.
Thanks, Leandra.
Thank you.